What is up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again, guys. We have another 187 diecast in the studio. It is Kevin Harvick's 2019 Mobil 1 Ford Mustang. Let's check it out. All right, folks, here we go with today's diecast review. I've been doing kind of a couple of these 187 diecast reviews, and y'all seem to enjoy them, so why not do another one? Shout out to Circle B for sending in the free 187s in little mystery bags. They're always fun to open up, so a huge shout out to them. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So you got Mobil 1 right there on the hood of the car. Now notice the, not plastic, but the whole car is actually die cast. It looks plastic, but it's not. The bottom portion is, of course, but the windows and all that stuff is just one giant metal whatever. But you can look at the silver on this, and it's a metallic printed silver. Very good job by Lionel. Mobil 1 right there. Get the Ford Mustang front end. And the die-cast mold itself is very similar to a 2013 Chevrolet Cup car. So seeing the Mustang nose on it is kind of interesting. I will say, though, it's a better adaptation than maybe the Toyota Supra or maybe the Chevrolet Camaro Xfinity car. Got the number 4 right there. Mustang. Got Moog, Edelbrock, Sunoco. Stewart-Haas Racing, go to the left side of the diecast. Crazy to think that Stewart-Haas Racing is not even in the sport anymore. It's just Haas now. Crazy. The left side of the car. And one thing about this diecast I always liked is it was kind of a stealthy vibe, kind of a... It reminded me a little bit of his 2002 car, having a little bit of silver on it. And it's just a good-looking paint scheme. And I think Cole Custer actually ran a throwback to this car. I know, 2019, and they're already throwing back to it. With Cole Custer ran a paint scheme, I think it was Bristol 2024. I could be tripping on that, but he ran the Mobil 1 car, and it was the Gray Ghost paint scheme is what they kind of coined it as. And that made me feel extremely old, because I'm like, 2019 was 6 years ago. Like, come on, guys. That ain't that old. Come on. At number 4 right there, get your contingency panel. You can see very faint outlining of what would be the side panel on the Ford Mustang. You can barely even tell it's there. And another thing with these 187 diecast reviews is I have to zoom in so much just to even see the contingencies. It kind of throws me off because I'm used to doing the diecast reviews on the 164s, right? And I kind of have like a set look that I'm looking for with my lenses to get it, accurate, get it focused. But with the 187s, I kind of have to adapt to the car. Got Rush Truck Center's Exalta, Haas, Mobil 1, American Ethanol. That's another thing that's gone. The American Ethanol ring. That's something that's gone. Mobil 1. Jimmy John's Freaky Fast. Got Kevin Harvick right there, B post decal. And got Goodyear. Go to the back end of the car. Now this would be probably pretty realistic to the plate mold. I've said this on other diecast reviews. At the rear of the car is much lower than they're supposed to be. But at the plate tracks, they ran kind of a side skirt, if you will, that wrapped around the rear quarter panels and the back bumper. I guess for the plate package. I guess it helps with passing or something. But that's what it really reminds me of. Got Mobil 1 right there, Mobil 1, Ford, and number 4. Go to the right side of the diecast. You can see a pretty gnarly decal gash right here. I'm trying to point it out for you. This little area right here looks like it was torn or something because you could see kind of a line there, and then half of the B-post decal, or about 20% of it, is removed. I'm not sure what happened. Again, it's a 187 diecast. I feel like for the 187s, you kind of have to look at it from a novelty standpoint rather than like a serious standpoint. Like I look at 124s and I look at 164s from like a serious standpoint, like a real collector's item. The 187s, I kind of look at like a novelty, like they're just something, you could put on your desk. You could you could decorate a little cabinet or something in your room or a shelf, and you don't really care that if it falls off. It's just a little 187 diecast. But at the same time, some of these people, they actually take the 187 serious, and some of these cars might be very rare. So you never know. But to me, I kind of just look at them as a little bit of a novelty, if you will. Got number 4 right there, and then Mobil 1 on the deck lid. So what they did in 2018 or 2019 when they first debuted the 187s, they had a wave system, just like the NASCAR Authentics line that we have nowadays in 2025. And they would have different waves and have different batches of cars. And the way they would do it, it would have like 10 different cars in that quote unquote mystery bag wave, and you would get one of them, right? But they also had another 187 wave line that was a 2-pack system where you would buy, you could buy one of these 187 diecasts, or it was actually 2 of them in it. So you would get like a Ryan Newman diecast and a Bubba Wallace diecast, a Kevin Harvick and a Chase Elliott, X, Y, and Z. What was fascinating to me about it is the 187 2-packs were more expensive than the 164s. They were, I think, $6 from what I remember back in 2019 and early 2020, because that's when they were still on retail shelves. And at the time, the 164s were only $5. So I was looking, I'm like, I could pay $1 more and get 2, or I could get 1, but it's the 164. It's going to have the detailed interior, all the, all the jazz with it. So that might have been something that turned a lot of collectors away from wanting to, buy the 187 diecasts. Do I think they're going to come back? I think eventually they will. History has shown they have always had 187s. They would make them for a few years, and they get rid of them, and they come back, and they try a new gimmick. I feel like they need to be marketed more as a novelty, unfortunately, for people to really go with them. But the problem is that you got to have good quality, right? So what do you do? Do you make them cheap and as a novelty with bad quality, or do you make them more of a collectible and then you limit your audience because you had to raise the price? So I'm not really sure how they can market the 187s, but I would be shocked if they never came back. That's just my own 2 cents. I know it's really blurry right there. This is a little sticker it comes with. It's nothing fancy. It's pretty cheap, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't recommend like opening it up, to be honest with you, and putting it on like a shelf or something. You'd be better off just buying an actual like sticker or decal. This is something I would use for like a diorama. If you had like a shop display with the actual 164 diecast, you could use this as a little display piece. You could like have it as like a floor mat, and then have like the 164 car and put it on top of it, or use the 187, either or. They did make this paint scheme in 164, by the way. So that's what I would kind of use it for. I wouldn't like put it on like your rear window on your car, because it's probably going to last a week and it's going to be sun bleached. You don't want that. You just wasted it, you feel me? So that's what I would probably do. But yeah, the 187s, I've said this before, I was not a fan of these when they first came out. I'll be the first one to admit I'm not going to, go back and be like, oh, I rewrite it, so to speak, and be like, oh, no, I love them. I did like them. I complained about them because they would make some of the diecasts in the 187 line that never got made in the 164. And there'd be times where I wanted the 164s to get a new Authentic wave, and we only got a 187 wave. But I look back at it, and I'm like, you know what? It might not have been for me, but I understand there's a demographic of people that collect 187 stuff. So I feel like there is a need for it. I just don't think it's sufficient enough right now in 2025 to bring it back, is what I'm trying to say. And I love the idea of the mystery bags, but I don't think I would go out of my way to get them, is what I'm trying to say. So when Circle B started putting the 187 bags in some of their orders, right? Because they've been doing miscellaneous items. A couple of the recent diecast hauls I had, they had like, like collectible cards in it or something. I freaking love those things. They're like NASCAR trading cards or something from 2007. The quality on them things are just asinine. It is unbelievable how good the print quality is, how glossy it is. It has like a gold foil texture to it. It's insane. I love when they put out miscellaneous items, and that's where this one came from. So when they send in the free 187 diecast, I get excited for it because I have no idea what it is. So it's just, I don't know how to market it. I don't know how they could do it, but somehow, some way, it's probably going to find its way back into NASCAR collecting once again. Enough of me rambling. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecastbuffet signing off.